Hello, Year 4. Welcome to Lesson 2. So, at any point in this video, in this lesson, if you need to pause, you can, and you can restart the lesson whenever you need to complete tasks or to think. And at the end of the lesson, make sure you go to Purple Mash to complete your to-do. Today, we're going to be answering the question, who was Dadabhai Naoroji? Before we start, let's see what we remember with our knowing more and remembering more. Number 1. MP stands for Members of Parliament. True or false? Number 2. How many MPs have seats in the House of Commons? 65, 100, 650, or 1,000? Number 3. Can you become an MP if you are 17? Number 4. Is a constituency a person? Pause here to record your responses, and when you're ready, get on to the next slide. How did you do? An MP stands for Member of Parliament, and there are 650 seats in the House of Commons. You definitely can't become an MP if you're 17, and a constituency is not a person. Here's some of the vocabulary that we are going to be introduced to in this lesson. British Empire. All of the countries and lands that Britain had taken over and controlled. It was about a quarter of the whole world. Member of Parliament, or MP. People who were elected to sit in the House of Commons and make decisions about the country. Drain theory. The idea that the British Empire was taking resources and money out of India and that it was harming India. Election. When people vote for who they want to be their MP. So our lesson content and our lesson question today is, who was Dadabhai Naoroji and why was he significant? What was the British Empire? Here we have a picture of the whole world spread out, and we can see that the places in dark red are the places that were occupied by Britain. The British Empire was all of the countries and land that Britain had taken over and controlled. It was about a quarter of the world. We can see there's a large part of Africa there, and North America. What else do you notice? What was the British Empire? You can see it here on a map. What country is it occupying? For about 200 years, this included Britain controlling India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Here we have a very old image. The British Empire took a lot of money and resources out of the countries that it controlled all over the world and became extremely powerful. So, who was Dadabhai Naoroji? In 1825, during the time that Britain ruled India, a man called Dadabhai Naoroji was born. He became a businessman and a professor. He was very respected in both India and in London. He set up organizations to help British people understand more about India. He was known as the Grand Old Man of India. Drain theory. What is a drain theory? Dadabhai Naoroji was a very intelligent man, and he realized that the British Empire was getting incredibly wealthy by taking a lot of money and resources out of India. What do you think the drain theory might be? Talk to your partner or make some notes on paper. Drain theory. He called it the drain theory. It was like all the wealth of India was pouring down the drain. Pouring down the drain and going directly into London. This caused a great deal of poverty in India. Do you think this is fair or was fair? Talk to your partner and discuss. or if you're at home, you can make some notes on some paper. Here is your first activity. You can pause here at any time to complete this activity before you move on to the next slides. Your activity is for you to explain why Dadabhai Naoroji thought the British Empire was not good for India. When you're thinking and writing about this, you're going to explain the drain theory. You might think that this is an unfair thing. You're definitely going to talk about the wealth of India and the wealth of London and the British Empire. You might use the word resources and control. You can pause here to complete this activity. He wanted to be an MP. I wonder if anyone can remember what those letters MP stand for. Pause here to discuss with your partner. What is an MP? In 1892, Dadabhai Naoroji decided he wanted to have more influence over what the British Empire was doing in India. He decided to try to become a member of Parliament in Finsbury, London. There were no other Asian MPs. In 1892, every other MP was a white British man. It shocked a lot of people that an Asian man would want to be an MP. What do you think about the fact that there were only white British men who were allowed or who were MPs in the 1800s? Discuss with your partner before moving on. Who was MP at the time? The MP in Finsbury at this time was a white British man called Frederick Penton. He was a member of the Conservative Party. I wonder if anyone can remember what colour the Conservative Party would be on a constituency map. Here's a map of London, and that is where Finsbury is. This is an image of Frederick Penton, who was MP at this time. Who won the 1892 Finsbury election? In 1892, here is how many votes each of the candidates received. I wonder if you can guess before I disclose the answer. Discuss with your partner. How many votes do you think each candidate received? Pause here to discuss. Dadabhai Naoroji got 2,961 votes. Frederick Penton received 2,956 votes. That is an incredibly close election. Dadabhai Naoroji won by only 5 votes. Only 5 people's choices made a difference, which meant that Dadabhai Naoroji was now an MP. With this victory, he became the first British Asian MP. He had a seat in the House of Commons. He was able to debate with other MPs and have a say in how the country was run. So, what is his legacy? A legacy is a story of a person left behind once they're gone. Dadabhai Naoroji passed away in 1917. He is an inspiration to other British Asian people who want to become members of Parliament. He is also an inspiration to anyone who believes in fairness. In India, there are stamps with his face on. He is known as the Grand Old Man of India. Here's your second activity. Why was it difficult for Dadabhai Naoroji to get elected? Remember, you can pause here at any time to complete this activity and restart the video when you're ready. You're going to use vocabulary from the word bank to complete the text. The words in our word bank are election, discriminated, Asian, India, and MP. Pause here to complete your sentences. How did you do? Dadabhai was an intelligent, thoughtful, hardworking man from India. He wanted to be elected as an MP. Even with all his incredible qualities, he still only won the election by 5 votes. Because there had never been another Asian MP, it was harder for Dadabhai Naoroji to become one. Historically, people have discriminated against others in elections. Well done if you got these correct. What have you learned? Let's see if we can find the words to match our definitions. All of the countries and land that Britain had taken over and controlled. It was about a quarter of the whole world. What was it called? It was called the British Empire. People who are elected to sit in the House of Commons and make decisions about the country. Those people are called members of Parliament. The idea that the British Empire was taking resources and money out of India and that it was harming India. What did Dadabhai Naoroji call it? The drain theory. When people vote for who they want to be their MP, they vote in an election. Let's test our knowledge. Look at the questions below and discuss your responses with your partner. You can pause at any time to do this. Number 1, in which century was Dadabhai Naoroji born? Number 2, what was the name of the theory that resources were being unfairly taken out of India? Number 3, where and when did Dadabhai Naoroji become an MP? Number 4, how many Asian MPs were there before him? And finally, number 5, suggest the type of person that might see Dadabhai Naoroji as an inspiration. Why have you learned all about Dadabhai Naoroji? You've learned about him so that you can understand some of the history behind the UK Parliament becoming more diverse. It's also so you can understand how people who do things for the first time create a path for others to follow. This will allow you to see the different challenges faced by politicians of different ethnicities. Hello, Year 4, it's Mrs. Deans Watson here again.